Today we're at the first Biochem Accelerator Forum, which is taking place in Milan alongside LifeMed and ChemMed, which are two important European events. The forum aims to help SMEs entering into the highly promising market for bio-based products in the chemical sector. The fora form part of a Europe-wide Biochem project which is co-funded by the European Commission. Here at the forum, SMEs will get a unique opportunity to promote their company. They'll meet with investors, venture capitalists and key players from industry.
Well, there are at least two advantages of bio-based products for reduction of greenhouse gases. I guess one is the fact that you're using renewable feedstocks rather than using oil or coal or gas, things that are fossil fuels. So that in itself is going to cause a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. But the other advantage is that usually if you're using renewable feedstocks, if you're using biomass as a feedstock, and if you're using industrial biotechnology in particular, normally you're using less energy in your process. So your process can happen at a much lower temperature, hence you're using less energy to make the process go. So, you know, from both ends, bio-based products should have a really substantial impact on reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
Manufacturing is the key for the European economy, and it's also the key for employment and the wealth of Europe. So of course, bringing processes, how do we turn biomass or oil into products in a speedy way is very important for global competitiveness. The bio industry has to play a vital role in this one because it gives us renewable resources and it will help and build on European strengths. The challenges for this one is that bioeconomy is not separate from the real economy that is currently ongoing. So these two poles have to come together and we have to work across sectors and not everybody in his own silo, because only through cooperation can we go forward. The bioeconomy has two major challenges. The one is how do we get enough biomass from our agricultural part? And I think that's a separate issue. It's linked with trade in other regions of the world. On the other hand, we have to use the biomass to make advanced materials and lightweight cars and whatever we would like to have from this one. So we have to play on both sides together and bring the various industry and value chains together. The challenge is also for other topics because innovation is only as strong as the weakest link. For instance, if we don't solve the problem of water recycling, the bioeconomy will not happen in Europe because it's so water intensive. The other topic is, of course, can we supply enough manufacturing? And just to give you one example, on the patent and in the research, Europe, Brazil and Asia have around each 30% of the patents. However, if you look at manufacturing, the US capacity is around 70% of the world market. Europe is 2 to 3% and other parts of the world. So you see that creating knowledge through research on the one side is by far not enough to make a real lively bioeconomy happen.
The biotech sector in Italy has been growing very much in the last 10 years. Now just to mention one of the several data which are important. For the moment, Italy accounts to be the third country in terms of number of biotech companies in Europe, so it has been growing in a very successful way. Also all the other economics are very relevant. Number of employees is growing. We have now more or less 50,000 people, many of them of course in R&D activities. The total turnover of the sector now is around 7 billion per year, with a total investment in R&D which is almost 2 million. Let's say that there are, in my opinion, two critical issues which are important for the future development of the sector in Italy. The first one would be to have a more competitive scenario in terms of systematic help for the enterprises, in terms of financial contributions, fiscal rules, which would allow the enterprise to invest more in research and to do that in a more competitive way as it has been done in several countries. Unfortunately in Italy there has not been really systematic approaches like the tax credit, which was very helpful for a couple of years in Italy, but now is not anymore in place, while in other countries like for example Germany, France and others it's a very effective way. It has been introduced for a very long period of time and so it's very important. So we hope that from this point of view there will be several measures in the future which could foster the dynamics of the sector.